So, dear students, in this lecture we are going to discuss about the important definitions in triangulation adjustment. So, first definition is independent quantity is the one whose value is independent of the values of the other quantities. For example, in leveling work we determine the reduced levels of the different staff stations. This reduced level of the staff station is determined with reference to the reduced level of the benchmark. So, reduced level of the staff station will be depend on the RL of the benchmark, but RL of the benchmark will not be depend on the reduced level of the staff station. Therefore, the RL of the benchmark is called as independent quantity. And second, condition quantity. So, is the quantity whose value is dependent upon the value of one or more quantities. It is also called as dependent quantity. So, if you take the example of the measurement of a angle, for example, say this is the triangle ABC, say this is A, this is B and C. So, if you consider this as a plane triangle, the summation of the three angles of the triangle A plus B plus C must be equals to 180 degree. So, in this equation, so C is considered as the independent quantity. So, the value of C will be depend on A and B. If you consider the angle B, the value of B will be depend on A and C. If you consider the angle A, the value of A will be depend on B and C. Any two angles may be considered as a independent angles. Say A and B is independent angle, so value of C will be depend on A and B. If we consider the B and C, value of A will be depend on B and C. So, such quantity is called as condition quantity. Then direct observation is the one made directly on the quantity being determined. For example, if you measure the any angle, say consider the angle AOB or the angle POQ or the angle PQR. So, the observation made for the determination of that angle is nothing but the direct observation, and the indirect observation is the one in which the observed value is deduced from the measurement of some related quantities. Suppose if you measure this angle, suppose it is asked to find out this angle A angle AOB. So, you have carried out the operation to measure the angle AOB. You kept the theodolite at station O, then first A is bisected, then B is bisected, and the angle AOB is measured. Let us say this angle is found to be 40 degree. Okay. So, we carried out the operations for the measurement of the angle AOB. So, angle AOB is, so this the direct observation made for this one, and from this angle if you find out this angle, so this shaded portion is nothing but the exterior angle. You know that the value of the interior angle, this is interior, this is exterior angle. So, interior plus exterior is equal to 360. So, you can find out the exterior angle by knowing the interior angle. So, if I do the calculation for this one, 360 degree minus 40 degree. So, I am getting the value of exterior angle is equal to 320 degree. Okay. Try to understand why I did this. To measure the angle AOB, some operation is carried out, but to get the value of the exterior angle, that is 320 degree, no measurement is carried out. Only by doing the calculation we obtain the value of exterior angle. So, the exterior angle of AOB is nothing but the indirect observation, and this interior angle is called as direct observation. This is the example of the direct observation and the indirect observation. So, is the one which is observed value is deduced from the measurement of some related quantities. We will take the one more example for this indirect observation. Suppose in second year we have studied the tachometric. Suppose this is the profile of the ground, tachometer is placed here, then this is the position of the leveling staff, then this is your horizontal line of sight when the vertical angle is 0. To get the staff reading, we are directing the telescope towards this one, towards the staff, and let us say this is top wire, this is middle wire, and this is the bottom wire. So, you are recording this angle, this say theta is plus theta is the vertical angle. Say this is station A, this point where the staff is kept is B. So, in tachometry we find out this distance. So, this is the horizontal distance D, and distance from the middle wire to the horizontal wire, this distance is V. So, value of D and V is obtained indirectly. You are not using any tape or any instrument to get the value of V and D. How you are getting the D? You are getting the D using the equation D is equal to ms cos square theta, where m is the multiplying constant, s is the staff intercept. Once you get the D, then you find out the V is equal to D tan theta. Okay. So, D and V are the indirect observations, where whatever the theta you determine in the field, this is the direct value of the vertical angle. This is the best example of the indirect observation. The next definition is the weight of an observation. Weight of an observation is a number giving an indication of its precision and trustworthiness when making a comparison between the several quantities of different worth. If a certain observation is of weight 4, it means that it is 4 times as much reliable as an observation of weight 1. So, after taking the measurements in the field, maybe linear measurement or the angular measurements, using the certain rules, you have to assign the weights to the observations. Sometimes the observations may be of the equal weight, sometimes the observations may be of unequal weight. So, observations called as weighted observations. If the weights are different, then they are called as weighted observations. So, weight of an observation is a number giving an indication of its precision or trustworthiness when making a comparison between the several quantities of different worth. If a certain observation is of weight 4, it means that it is 4 times as much reliable as an observation of weight 1. When two quantities or observations are assumed to be equally reliable, the observed values are said to be of equal weight or of unit weight. So, these observations called as weighted when different weights are assigned to them. So, observations are required to be weighted when they are made with unequal care under dissimilar conditions. So, weights are assigned to the observations or quantities observed in direct proportion to the number of observations. This is the concept of weight of an observation. Then weighted observation, when the different weights are assigned to the observations, when the observations are made with unequal care under dissimilar condition, then the different weights are assigned to the observations. Weights are assigned to the observations or quantities in direct proportion to the number of observations. For example, if you measure the angle A, suppose angle A is measured, value of the angle A is say 40 degree, 20 minutes and 20 seconds. Another observation is made for the same angle and its value is 40 degree, 20 minutes and 19 seconds. Okay. One more observation is made for the angle A. Its value is 40 degree, 20 minutes and 18 seconds. If you assume that all these observations are taken with the equal care under same condition, then you may assign the unit weight. So, that is 1, 1, 1. These are all the observations are of same weight. If you think that if the observations are made under dissimilar condition, then you may assign the weights to the, this is 1, so this may be 2, this may be 3 or this may be 1. So, in the second case these observations are called as weighted observation, and in the first case the observations are of equal weight. Then observed value of a quantity is the value obtained when it is corrected for all the known errors. Such quantity is called as observed value of a quantity. So, I will take one simple example for the observed value of a quantity is the value obtained when it is corrected for all the known errors. So, in a hydrographic surveying, you have measured the horizontal angle. Before the measurement, you have to find out the index error for the nautical sextant. In hydrographic surveying, we are using the nautical sextant to find out the value of horizontal angle. So, this index error, so this error may be positive, the error may be negative. When the reading is taken, so your reading is say 40 degree, 20 minutes, and if the index error is plus 1 degree, 0 minute and 12 second, considering the least count of the nautical sextant is 12 second. You know that if the error is positive, its correction will be negative. So, when you record the value of the horizontal angle, then you are subtracting this error, that is 1 degree 0 minute and 12 second. Okay. That is, the observed value of a quantity will be the 40 degree 20 minutes minus 1 degree 0 minutes 12 seconds. That means, after applying the correction, whatever the value you are getting is called as the observed value. So, this error is known to you. Then true value of a quantity is the value which is absolutely free from all the errors. It is indeterminate because true error is never known. Then true error, the difference between the true value of a quantity and its observed value is called as true error. One more important definition in this topic is the most probable value. Commonly it is abbreviated as MPV. Most probable value is the one which has more chances of being true than any other value. That value is called as most probable value, and this most probable value is deduced from the several measurements on which it is based. So, most probable error is defined as that quantity which is added to or subtracted from the most probable value, which fixes the limit within which it has an even chance the true value of the measured quantity must lie. That value is called as most probable error. For example, suppose 254 meter is the distance measured. Measured distance is 254 meter and the probable error in the measurement is 0.5 meter. So, this error may be positive, it may be negative, because so this probable error, so it coming under the category of accidental error or the random error. So, random error, it may be positive, it may be negative. So, the most probable value of the quantity will be 254.5 meter, or it may be 253.5 meter. Okay. So, value of the quantity will lie between these two only. That is why it is mentioned as the quantity which is added to, which quantity, that is 0.5, which is added to or subtracted from the most probable value. So, most probable value is the 254. So, this 0.5 which fixes the limit within which it has an even chance the true value of the measured quantity must lie. So, your distance may be 254.5 or the 253.5. So, this is the concept of most probable error. Then residual error is the difference between the most probable value of a quantity and its observed value is called as residual error. For example, if you are having the 4 observations of same weight, then find out the mean of the 4 observations. The mean of the 4 observation will represent the most probable value, and if the most probable value is subtracted from an individual observation, then you will get the residual error in that individual observation. Then observation equation. So, this is the equation which showing the relation between the observed quantity and its numerical value. Here observed quantity and numerical value. Here the quantity is A, its numerical value is 40 degree. The equation which shows the relation between the observed quantity and its numerical value is called as observation equation. Then condition equation is the equation expressing the relation existing between the several dependent quantities. We have seen that the equation is a plus b plus c is equal to 180 degree for the triangle. For the quadrilateral, it may be a plus b, it will be a plus b plus c plus d is equal to 360 degree. So, this such equation is called as condition equation. Then normal equation. Normal equation is the one which is formed by multiplying each equation by the coefficient of the unknown whose normal equation is to be formed. So, number of equations, that is number of normal equations, must be equals to the number of unknowns. So, for if we will take the simple example how the normal equation is formed. Say the equation is x plus y is equal to 2x plus y is equal to 3. Here the weight of the equation is 1, here the weight of the equation is 1. So, to form the normal equation, so there are two unknowns, so there will be two normal equation, one for x, one for y. To get the normal equation for x, when the weights are same for both the equation, multiply the equation with the coefficient of the unknown whose normal equation is to be formed. So, in the first equation the coefficient of the x is 1. So, multiply the whole equation by 1. So, I am getting the equation x plus y is equal to 2. In the second equation, we are forming the normal equation for x, coefficient for the x is 2, multiplying whole equation by 2. So, I am getting 4x plus 2y, coefficient of x is 2. So, this is 2y is equal to 6. If you add this, the result is 5x plus 3y is equal to 8. This is the normal equation for x. Likewise, you can form the normal equation for the y. For the y, the first equation will be as it is, and the second equation will also as it is, because the coefficient of the y is 1. Just simply adding these two equations, I am getting the result 3x plus 2y is equal to 5. This is a normal equation for y, this is normal equation for y, this is the normal equation for x. If you solve these two equations simultaneously, you will get the most probable value of the x and y. This is the concept of normal equation. Thank you.